in a few months. And working with the right aesthetics, because like I said, you're taller. You have to figure out what works for you. Now, who's your coach? Who are you working with?
I recently got a new coach. I was working with, previously, I was working with Courtney Starr from Team Elite Physique from the beginning of my career until a little bit earlier this year. She is a great coach. I've recently switched to, she's a bikini pro, Marissa Wu. She is such a cute little, like, she's just such a powerhouse. She's so smart. And she specifically, one of the reasons why I ended up going with her is because she specializes in building glutes without building the rest of the leg. And because that's an issue that she had personally with her physique, and she has a degree in kinesiology. And so what we're doing now is kind of fine tuning my training. So I'm just like building my glutes up as big as I can, and also building my shoulders without building my arms, which is like, because it makes my shoulders look much smaller than they are, because my shoulders are actually pretty developed, but my biceps are so big that it makes them look a little bit smaller. So, but what I was going to say is, to your point, like, I don't really have any of the negative feedback and mean comments and stuff like that, because I was wondering when, this stuff came out in these news articles, and as we got more attention and as fans are like responding to these performances and stuff like that, I was like, or people are going to be like, oh yeah, she looks like a dude or something, like, because I have muscles. But I'm very feminine looking. I'm a very girly girl, and people have been nothing but kind to me. They're like, how do how do you look like this? What is your training like? All of the, like, what are you eating and all of the things like that. And again, to your point, it's so much hard work. We are actual athletes, and I do appreciate your time. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to take this time to speak with you, is because some people just think of us as, like, being a set of boobs and muscles, like with a head attached to them. But there is so much more that goes into this. It's a lot of hard work. It's brutal work, and it goes all year round. Like, I was training on my birthday, your birthday, and Christmas. So like, and whether you're bikini or not, I think that some people view bikini competitors as like not training hard, or like we train differently or something like that. That depends on the girl. There are some girls that don't work hard and don't train super hard and are just genetically really, really lucky. But I'm like, in my off season, I'm like pressing like 800 pounds. I'm not playing around. So it's, whenever I hear kind words about the work that we do, it's something that means a lot to me, and it's something that I really appreciate.
Well, this is why I have this platform to, because give you, mostly, as I said again, most of my focus is on women in bodybuilding because they don't get the recognition. It's like one thing people got to remember: being a woman in this sport is very tough, because one thing, you have to work and train. You're not like same as the men. They have a different level. You have a different level. Bikini competitors have different levels. Physique competitors have different levels. The women's bodybuilding have different levels. Everybody has different levels, and everybody has to train with their own
Mhm.
style. I have my prejudice in the past. I know that because I'm admit it. But I have talked to ladies in such as women. Good part of my content was women with bodybuilding. I talked to women in bikini division, even some pros. Talked to ladies in fitness. Some pro level fitness competitors. I've talked to, I got a couple ladies who do wellness. Like I said, I want to get my hands on some pros. I'm just waiting. I just, give them some time before I get to them. But I understand. It's more. I have conversation with you ladies. I understand more and more. And here, the outside people like this. Everybody thinks that all you got to do be a bodybuilder, take steroids, take pages, da 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 da. No, that's steroids is like it's only a small factor to it. It's mostly for recovery. Everything is about your consistency, your diet, when you're working out, your training, work body parts on this day and that day. Stay hydrated, because on the stage, you competitors, you have to compete for maybe about a whole year for baby to be on stage for 2 minutes at the most, and you're
And we get
tired.
30 seconds, and they're usually like, make it 15 seconds.
Yeah,
So yeah, but to your point, like, I compete in the NPC because I'm like, you bring your best, I'll bring my best, and we'll see what happens. Okay. So I don't care what anybody does. I don't care what it's, and the judges don't care. They don't care every moment that happened before you step on that stage. They care about the product that walks out there. They don't care about any of that stuff. They don't care if people are mean to you. They don't care if you feel mistreated. They don't care if you were mistreated. It's all about what you're presenting to those judges in that moment on that day. So it is hard, and it's hard to go out there and be judged. It's hard to go out there and bring your best into something that you put your whole heart into every single day. And um, I would say though, at the end of the day, it's all worth it, and it all makes me so happy, like every piece of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's good. You should enjoy what you do. Here's one thing I say like this. I think there should be more opportunities for you women, especially. As you know, I say this, I keep saying this, the reference to this. The men's division, it's mostly guys in banana hammocks and board shorts. You ladies, it costs more for you ladies to compete compared to the men. You got to get your hair done, your
oh
makeup done, your suits right there alone, And also
yeah,
everything else that encompasses sport, like your coach and all this. And people understand that sponsorship does help. So are you sponsored by anybody or everything's on your
I'm
shoulders?
not sponsored by anybody. Hold on, there's someone walking through my ears. Okay. Um, I'm not sponsored by anybody right now. I feel like that usually comes when you're a pro. Um, and it's hard to know who you can like trust when it comes to stuff like that. I like for my bikinis and stuff like that, I do them myself. So I will like order the bikini and have it made, and then I'll do all the stonework myself. Which for me, like, because people are always like, "You do it yourself, don't you get stressed about that?" And I'm like, "No, it actually adds to my like confidence on stage because I'm like, I did this myself, I put this together myself." So the bikini that I'm wearing on stage with Chapel, I did myself. Um, what was I talking about? Sorry, that guy walking through just kind of threw me off.
Bikini.
Um, Oh yeah. But that's just one of the expenses. It's like just like even like for traveling for the shows, if once you like reach a certain level, like I can't compete locally anymore, so you got to fly out. There's your Airbnb. There's your flight. You're getting all your food to the yeah exactly. So it's all these hidden fees and costs and stuff like that. But it's just like unless you're a like top level athlete. It's not like you're, competing all expenses paid. And if you're doing this for the money, you're probably doing it for the wrong reason. You're probably going to be disappointed at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
because this is a poor man's sport, you might well say it. Because unless you, like I
Yeah.
said again, if you're the top level competitors, like IP level guys, like guys like Heidi Chopin, Derek Lungford, or unless you're like who's the biggest bikini competitor? I don't really follow bikini like that. If he who's like the
There's like Ashley Kaltwasser, like the biggest, biggest of the big.
yeah.
Um, but someday, hopefully, someone will be like. But I always in my posts, I always like make a joke because I like when I'm doing cardio, wear like Hanes sweatpants, like to me, like what I'm wearing is like the least. I mean, I love to look cute at the gym. A lot of the stuff that I wear, and I make myself, or I find myself somewhere and make it cool. But I also will wear just like Hanes sweatpants, and I'm like, put in code Victoria for 0% off because I don't have a hookup from them for you. Like, just go to Walmart like I did and get, get these
I see because you got your old shirt right there. Yeah, you see right there.
This shirt, oh my God, my husband had these made as a surprise for me. Let me see. As a
Uh,
surprise for me. So this is me at the gym training. And like people at my gym have them. People ask about them all the time. They're like, I want one of those shirts with Victoria on it. And I was like, I had no idea about these. And then everyone just showed up with them on. And like, when I'm competing, when I do a show, like people will wear them and all this stuff. So I think maybe we'll do another edition because somebody else like asked about them. Like, who is that? And but
yeah.
it's me.
Yes, the
Yeah.
guy said, "Who's that tall drink of water? Can I have on my shirt? I might want to. I think I'll sleep with this shirt on tonight. So
Exactly.
yeah. But yeah,
The closest you'll get to getting a feel of her.
it's good that you support your husband. Like your mom's passed. So any other family members you have beside her, or
Oh yeah, I have three sisters, like you, no brothers. So it's just a big clan of like powerful women. My sisters don't compete at all, but they came and my dad came. They've come to a couple of my shows with like big signs. And it's so funny. I was cracking up the other day because my dad has me as a background on his phone. And it's just like me in a bikini and people are like, "Who is that girl? Like is this your girlfriend?" And I'm cracking it. He's like, "That's my daughter." No. But he's so proud of me. He's very supportive. Like, I think he's used to me doing crazy things. Like years before bodybuilding, I did. Have you ever heard of Cupid's Undie Race? It's this charity race to benefit the Children's Tumor Foundation, and so you raise money and then you run in your underwear outside. So me, there are pictures of this on my Instagram. I wore like a white, it's just like a white pair of like underwear from Victoria's Secret, like the most sparkly bra you've ever seen in your whole life, angel wings, a white fur trapper hat, and I went out, ran in these light up sneakers in the middle of winter. I think it was like negative 15 or 20 degrees to benefit the people. Were like, what are you like? What is going on? And I was all by myself. This is during COVID. So I'm like running, to benefit this charity and to bring awareness to this, to the Children's Tumor Foundation. People are asking to take pictures of me. So I think that my family is just like, yeah, this seems like something she would do. We know that she's going to be in a bikini. We know that she's going to be half naked, and like, we love her. We love her anyway. She works hard. We're very supportive. So,
Well,
and then my husband's super supportive too because he lives it. He knows, like, you know.
right there, we say running out there because I'm from the South. We barely get anything under maybe 40 degrees at the most in winter. Sometimes there'll be times when it gets around Christmas, we can wear shorts because it gets warm. And doing that charity, I'm excuse my language, fuck them kids. I'm gonna go, hey yo, hey yo, nah, man. But yeah, it's good that your dad, because I don't know. This is one of my jobs. I used to work in gentleman's club, and I don't know. A daddy's job would keep his girl out of a bikini and high heels, but it's good that he supports you, he loves you. I don't know, maybe some days, I don't know, and your husband and your father, hey, look at that tall drink of water. You're like, hey, that's my daughter, that's my wife. We're going to fight,
Right. It depends on like it's because it's like, is it respectful? Is it not? I think that like if we're towing a line, right, with bikini, like I think it's really ridiculous sometimes when women are like, shouldn't be seen as being like sexy at all. It's like we're presenting sexiness, we're presenting like our bodies and femininity. I don't think it's as sexual as some people are like will make it seem. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm on stage there to be like a little bit of eye candy. I'm like it's a little bit flirtatious. It's still for me. I think my stage persona is a little bit girl next door, but like she could be naughty, but she's using her power for good, kind of thing. So I think that if you see the stories behind the women there, you're like, there is work behind this. It's not just overly sexy for the sake of it, and like what's underneath, what's in this person's heart. But I also love the girls that are just there to like be hot. Like I'm cool with that too.
It's like this. It's like one of your favorites, Mike Tyson says he just like to fight. He didn't care about he just enjoyed fighting. You enjoy what you do. That's the thing, you guys enjoy this, and yes, there is as a fact is men will sexualize, especially guys. We find, especially you could be wearing a pair of blue blockers and a mini skirt. We don't care, and especially as guys who are. And this is my crime. I am a muscle person, but I admit that quite often. And there's an old smoke saying, when you ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. That's something else. But we doing this, I gotta respect what you do because you gotta think about it. Not only you're trying to present a certain look, but let's say this again. You're on a stage, you're dehydrated, your nicks are starving. You are presenting this. You try to look like you're smiling. It's like my other guy like says, when you get on that stage, you have to put a smile on that face. But then it's tough, and people who can't do it don't comment. I mean, one back I made this video. I do this thing called comparisons, and one lady, she saw it and said, it was about her. It said, I like how you compared us, but you didn't over sexualize it. You talked about us. You talked about bodies. You were more very technical, but you did talk about attract women. But yeah, because we try to walk that fine line to recognize that you are still a woman, but you're also an athlete. We have respect both your athleticism, but also we admire your beauty too. So we have here from a man, KL. He says this. He says, cool shirt, and also he says, yeah, I find me a tall glass of water like her. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's like the tall bikini girls like me, they're rare, but when you find them, it's like seeing a unicorn in the wild. So I love the tall girls. Like I know a lot of them. I don't know if they're single or not. They might be, to be honest. I know a couple of single ones. So, but I'm
Well,
not one of
yeah,
them.
yeah. She's married. But man, he's in New York, so he might, he does content on bodybuilding. He was at a show, the OCP show, and you talk about making your own suit. I know a lady who interviewed a while back. She's an OPC, NPC bikini competitor. She made her own suit too. Her name is Jane Flashman. She's called herself the Queen of the South. She's from Georgia, and yeah,
Uh-huh.
you have to be determined. You have to love this sport. You have to be consistent. That's one thing people forget about. You have to be consistent when you get into
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah. And it like the more I meet people that do this, it takes a certain kind of person to participate in a sport like this because, I might be biased about it, but there's no off season. There's no true off season. So you're constantly working in the off season. Like I'm getting my meals in, like off season or not.